I wanted to see how this Leica lens would perform on a Lumix camera, a Blackmagic camera, and not just for photography. How does it work with video? How does its autofocus work? And of course, we'll take a look at some photographs with it. I'm talking about the Leica ASPH APO or APO Summicron SL 35mm f2. There is a non-APO version of this lens. It is worth mentioning this lens is about $5,000 or $6,000. I rented it for some jobs. I'm actually recording with it right now, and I'm using the Lumix S5 II. Let's take a look at the focus breathing on this Leica. I'm going to step out of frame and see how it catches in the background here, how that focus shift, focus breathing happens as I walk into frame. I'm shooting at f2 on this. Let's take a look at how some of the images look right out of camera with this. This is no processing, no adjustments whatsoever, and it looks really good. The black and white is a look that you can bake into your image on the Lumix cameras. And then here are the images when I use some post-processing. I was kind of going for the cool matte look, not cool matte, cool matte look for these images. For the price of this lens, you could buy 5 $1,000 lenses, and a $1,000 lens is usually a really good lens. But there is something pretty amazing about this lens, and that is how sharp it is, especially corner to corner. And especially on a 35, it's rare to get that type of detail across the entire image. Really, the chromatic aberration and lack of fringing, even in some of these pictures with the trees, it's wintertime here, so we don't have any leaves or anything on these trees. I've had pictures in the past taken with my Canon where you get that fringing where the sky meets the branches. It really separates your subject or object from the background, and not even having to shoot at f2. The only thing that I've noticed with this lens is at f2, you get a little bit of vignetting around the edges. Of course, that's where vignetting usually lives. But once you go to 2.8, it goes away. When we're talking about the autofocus with this lens, it's important to discuss photography versus videography. I've had no problem with it on either end. It behaved just as any other lens that I've worked with as far as autofocus goes, if not better. Even using the Blackmagic camera, that image and that focus was pretty sharp. And even moving objects or subjects around, it did a really good job of keeping tracking the subject, tracking the object to keep things in focus. I would not buy a lens of this price to do this, even though I think it looks great. But for the work that I do, which is a combination of photography, video, documentary storytelling, interviews, it worked. And yeah, a 35 is not something I would choose for a talking head interview. Granted, if there were 2 people in one shot, I might. I lean towards the 50 and the 85. But for me, the 35 is good for establishing shots, B-roll, and especially run and gun. In this case, where we had the 2 gentlemen giving us a tour of the train facility, I used the 35 on the Lumix camera. It's a huge room and tight space, so I didn't have the option to set up lights. This is how it looked. This was the Leica lens on the Lumix camera, and I was pretty happy with that. There are some other features to talk about this with this lens. The minimum focusing distance is 0.27 meters, so that's about 10.6 inches. So we can get kind of close, see how close I can get here. Why don't I just show you some video examples instead of me crawling all up in here to explain this. I think most of you are separated into 2 schools of thought. One is the, I'm not paying that much for something when I could buy a lot more with that. And the, you don't know what it's like to shoot on Leica school. This is my first experience with a Leica lens. I'm thrilled. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm gonna send the lens back because it's not in the budget right now, but that's another important thing for you to consider. If you do this as a hobby and you have the money, then get it. You'll be pleased with it. It's not going to make you a better photographer automatically. I think the skill set has to be there for you to appreciate what the lens or the camera does. And that's with any lens or camera. My thought has always been, if you do this for a living, if you get paid to do this kind of work, it's an investment into your company. It's an investment into your business. But you can take a deeper dive in that and say, is it a $5,000 investment? Is it worth it? you can certainly get great images from the Lumix 35mm or even the C-Ray 35mm or any other 35mm Sigma. There are other options out there that are going to give you great results. There is something about this lens that I particularly like, and that's the color rendering, the image quality, the subject separation, and just the way that it delivers. I'm more impressed with the way it performed with video because everyone had said it's not that great with video. The autofocus isn't that fast. For someone moving as fast as this, it worked. I'm not doing track and field or sports or wildlife, so maybe that's an instance where it's not an ideal fit. But in my experience of just recording people, walking around, following someone who's sitting down or moving within reason within a room, it did a great job of keeping that autofocus and capturing a good image. So I'm curious what your thoughts are on Leica lenses. Have you used any? If you're using the APO lenses, do you have a favorite one? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.